will it still impact my is something which I'm trying to still learn, right? We all are in the learning journey. I'm going to share, some thoughts, which I have in my mind about this particular subject. So there are, if you look at this topic, right, and the questions, we were just, trying to glance over and focus more on is how is this AI going to really impact overall the job market, and how is it changing the overall job search aspect, since we all are job seekers at some point, right? I mean, if I'm employed, I can be happy now with my current job, but at a certain point, later, if I need to shift, I still need to understand how this job search market is doing right now, what kind of changes AI has brought into it, right? And the third part is more about how this resume format is surviving the new AI bots, and how can you really match your skills to the new requirement which is being generated by AI, right? These are a few aspects which have been in our minds for quite some time. So we'll spend some time to really discuss on all of this aspect, right? So what I did is, this is purely a discussion document. Don't completely rely on this document because I haven't really covered everything in it. We can keep the discussion pretty interactive, right? It's not really a webinar where it's just like one person talking and others kind of making notes. I would also request our career guidance council mentors and volunteers to add their thoughts during the conversation. Let's make it more interactive. We got close to 15 minutes, 55 minutes. We can definitely spend quite good time to really go through all of this and share your thoughts. And this is an ongoing conversation. I would also request you just to keep focusing on this because this is really required for every one of us, right? Including freshers as well as the experienced, job seekers here. So with that, let's dive in. Yeah, these are like, two to three things we'll be covering. Before we get into the details about how AI is impacting overall the market, the job market and our jobs, let's try to quickly understand, right, what this AI is about, right? Artificial intelligence. I heard this during when I was, during my MBAs, right? So this is not really a new concept. This existed. It's just about, how it evolved. It has evolved to its peak now, and it is making a lot of advances with so many changes happening on the AI front. Now, artificial intelligence, if you look at, is definitely rapidly evolving and growing, and enabling everything around us, right, including all the machines, the way we are thinking, the way we are learning, and the way we are solving the problems as in humans. It's already shaping various industries, right, including healthcare, finance and transportation, right? As AI technology moves further, it definitely provides a lot of potential for improving our lives and driving various innovations into our lives, right? While there are challenges, right, with the challenges is something which we'll try to focus more on it. I definitely want to give you one example of how I actually used AI recently, and also how I'm using AI at my job, right? Probably at job, I'll talk about it later, but one recent example of how I used AI was, I was just looking. I did my medical test, right? And then once I got the report from Vijaya, diagnostic, what I did was I just uploaded that particular report. One of my close friend advised me to do that, right? I just uploaded it to ChatGPT, app. The one which I use is the Copilot from Microsoft, and then I uploaded that document, the report, with all the findings about various things, right? Your blood report, your report about your various organs. Um, and I asked this app to give me some impression about what's wrong with this, what's wrong with this report, right? And that brilliantly, it actually within seconds it gave me a lot of inputs, which actually the inputs I would have actually got it maybe in the first discussion I would have had with the doctor. Right? For example, if I were just first approaching the doctor, right? Maybe a junior doctor sitting outside of the clinic of an experienced doctor who's doing that initial investigation about you, asking some questions about what do you eat and stuff like that, right? So that part was taken care very well by this AI bot. I was shocked and surprised, right? So that kind of changes, that kind of innovation the AI is doing right now, not just the medical reports, right? You can actually upload anything, right? There are PhD scholars who are using AI to an extent where they're actually, taking their learning to the next stage, right? There are projects being driven by our school children by using AI to make it more impactful. There are organizations who are using AI to a larger extent by, removing a lot of barriers in between, reducing time, reducing in a lot of efforts, to some extent reducing manpower, which is an important topic which we'll be talking about it. But it is impacting all the sectors. It is impacting all the lives, starting from a child in the education, in the schooling, still, someone who's doing their PhD. From there on, someone who started their career. From there on, someone at the C-suite, right, C-level executive who's actually working on some important projects, right? The other example which I also gave is I was just trying to use this AI to kind of, build one presentation, right? I just asked AI bot, on that particular topic, and I asked the AI bot to kind of build a presentation, right? And it actually did a decent job. I wouldn't say it as a brilliant job, but it had actually covered a lot of aspects in that presentation, and it gave me the document. Right. So that way, that is how the AI is kind of transforming. These are like small examples. Right. If AI is like 100%, the example I gave you is like 1, 2. Right. It is doing a lot of innovation across the industries. That's something we'll have to keep in mind. Right. Now, these are various industries, right? I gave an example of, healthcare, right? The disease detection aspect, which I just called you can actually upload. The other thing what I also did was during my medical health checkup, right? The medical health checkup has got various aspects. It also does the x-ray of your chest, right? It was part of the package. I went for it. I didn't know how to read that x-ray. Honestly, I had to go and meet some doctor to show him and ask him, is that x-ray right or wrong, or is there any issue? And what I did was I just uploaded the image of the X-ray, and I asked a bot. I asked the A bot, him or her, whoever it is there any problem with my X-ray? That the response I got was, no, it's everything is normal, and it gave some details. That's how it is working on it. Finance sector has seen a lot of change, with AI systems. They work on a lot of data, they work on a lot of spreadsheets, right? And when they need to work on the spreadsheets, if they need to really put everything in order, that AI actually can do that part in few seconds, right? It has gone to an extent of even preventing those frauds in the system, right? So that's the extent of where, AI is impacting the finance sector. Transportation, we know it to what extent is it impacted. Tesla, the way the Tesla has driven the change in the overall transportation model, right? Manufacturing companies are using robots, and those robots are taught, various methods and processes to comply and follow, right? And it is done through our AI. The entertainment industry, the moment you search about a particular movie on Google, automatically the ads what you get is purely driven through AI, right? You would knock into Netflix, Netflix makes some suggestions. How is it doing? It is doing purely basis in how you're thinking and what you're typing there on the system. This is how the AI is overall impacting. And this is not new for all of you. You knew it, all of this is happening right now because you as job seekers, as young professionals are exploring technology as no one else would have actually explored in the past. Right. So I'm glad that the technology is in our hands. And everyone is exploring it. It's not too far for us to really explain that or motivate you to start using it. Now, how do we really start using it to our benefit is something we'll have to spend some time and talk about it, which we'll do that. But as I told you, it does a lot of good things. It increases efficiency, better decision making, right? It is available all the time. It also personalizes a lot of things basis your interest and basis your, your hobbies and stuff like that. It also, to some extent, solves complex problems, right? For example, wherever there is any biasness, right? If you just upload a problem and ask, for a solution, it can give you multiple, solutions and ask you to kind of pick it up, right? You still need your human brain to pick the right solution and implement it, but it does that initial work of thinking and providing all of those options, right? It does have a lot of challenges, and many companies, many technology experts are also trying to solve to see to what extent these challenges can be reduced, right? One of the important challenge which we face right now is job displacement, that how AI is replacing all the workers, all the employees, right? We'll talk about it. Maybe I'll give you some insights now, but we'll talk more in detail later. If you look at all those manufacturing companies, right? Manufacturing companies typically need those employees, um, who hardly use their strategic thinking, meaning there is less thinking. It's more about doing that autonomous work, meaning the work which they are supposed to do every day, every hour, every minute. Now, those jobs, and as you've seen in this previous slide, a robot can be installed in that role, and the robot actually can run that entire process, right, continuously without any break. Which means that a laborer, right, who's working in a manufacturing industry, who's supposed to make, for example, clean the facility, right? Now those robots, the cleaning robots, what we see in which are also being used in our houses, can actually do the entire cleaning aspect within seconds, or maybe it may take some few minutes, right? Totally, kind of removing a human interaction, human intervention in the entire process. Similarly, there are many such processes where workers are required to do that mundane task, right? Wherever you see that the task is being repeated multiple times in a role, right, that task is being replaced by AI, to keep it in a simple terms, right? That's what is happening right now in the manufacturing industry, right? When I say manufacturing, it also covers your pharma and various other industries. It also brings some kind of privacy issues, meaning when you actually upload your problem. For example, when I uploaded my medical report, I was hesitant to some extent, saying that if I might kind of making my medical report available on internet, right, when the tool is kind of reviewing it, whether it's just doing a good job, the same time is my data kind of being made available everywhere. I don't know, I don't have an answer to it, that maybe yes or maybe no, but it does bring that privacy issue concern. There is sometimes lack of transparency. I may not agree fully to this one, but sometimes there are few AI systems which are built for complex problem solving, and it's not pretty easy for someone like me, who's just learning the system, to navigate and kind of make a broader decisions, right? Again, it is purely basis how we learn the tool, but sometimes we see that lack of transparency. Ethical concern is a big concern right now. If the AI tool is, or AI robot is kind of raised or taught the wrong things, right? How would that kind of impact our surroundings? How would that impact the overall industry and overall the way we kind of work, right? There could be a way, like for example, there is a country who's fighting with other country. If they are using those robots in a wrong way, it actually tends to kind of go to an extent of losing lives of people, right? So that, to that extent, the ethical concerns is a big question right now, which our industry experts are trying to solve. Skill gaps is a big one of the biggest issue which our industry is kind of experiencing right now, which we'll also cover in our further slides, right? With that, we are moving away from the topic one, where we understood what AI is, how is it kind of making our lives better, while bringing some kind of challenges on various aspects. Now, overall, if you kind of focus more on the report or the general trend happening globally, right? And if you just focus more on the job market, there are like 92 million jobs which will be phased out by 2030, right? And I think maybe it can happen a little early also, right? So which also means that those jobs which have been in existence for some years, right, maybe actually by 2030 you will not find those jobs, and it will be replaced by a new skill set, right? There are two things into it. One, you're actually saying that there are few jobs which will not exist. There are few jobs which will not exist, but it will get replaced by the other jobs. If we go back to the same example of a worker cleaning a facility, a manufacturing facility, that role has been replaced by a machine which is cleaning, right, at a defined time, and it is doing it like 95% accuracy, right? What did this machine, what this AI has done is it actually replaced that job. Now, will that worker get another job? Maybe yes or maybe no. That's a different topic. But what this AI system has done is it has actually phased out a particular job, right? Now, will there be a job replaced? There can be another instance where the role which so far existed in the various industries, right, are being replaced with an advanced kind of AI roles, right, which will talk. I think there's a slide which talks more about the new jobs which are being created through this AI system. So there are two aspects. One is phasing out various jobs. The other aspect is jobs getting replaced. So at the same time, if you look at 170 million new jobs are being expected to emerge. This is the point which I was just talking along with the first point. That's a 22% shift in the global job landscape. This is purely global, it is not India specific, right? Now, what this means to us is, um, First of all, this is not new, right? We have seen this kind of change in last 15 to 20 years on IT side, both positive and negative. The moment the computer has started kind of taking those all those manual tasks, right? Uh, that itself was a big revolution, a big change, a big transformation, right? There were people, workers in factories, workers in working in various companies, various industries, where kind of worried, saying that okay, the system, the computers which are evolving will actually replace us. It didn't fully, right? People who were working in those industries, they started learning the new tool. They started learning computers, right? Then there's a new industry which got created called as IT industry. And that IT industry has got a huge share right now compared to other industries like pharma, oil and gas, and manufacturing, etc. And what happened in the past was a new industry got created, and it started providing a lot of employment to those IT professionals, right? IT itself as a field emerged in last 15 to 20 years time. That's something which is happening right now. This AI may actually redo the entire IT industry, which also means that it actually takes this IT industry to a next level. um, and the expert says that this the way computers and the way internet has created so much of opportunity, so much of billionaires, so much of entrepreneurs, so many companies making an impact. This AI would actually do that multiple times of what the impact which our internet and our computer industry has created in the past, right? Which means that there is a huge potential in AI, right? It is not going to really disrupt and say that we'll be at home and without any jobs or without any money or without any thing to do, right? The remote model of working, the hybrid model of working will get complemented with this kind of AI jobs, which also means that there'll be more jobs available globally for anyone, everyone working from anywhere, as long as you possess that kind of required skill set, which also means that you need to upskill. Now you keep hearing from me in next few minutes time about upskilling. Keep that in mind, that there is a lot of focus on upskilling right now. Now if you look at India's specific job market, right? AI job market in India is no different. If you look at globally, whatever technology changes happen, India is available right away to adopt those changes and start implementing on it. When we have seen those changes on technology front, when those data and new roles emerged in last 5 to 10 years time, India has kind of accepted those changes in the market in IT industry, and now people have started learning those new skill set. I still remember in my good olden days, there were like only 4 to 5 known technologies, and we used to go around in the market to learn those 4 to 5 technologies. Then time came where we had like 15 to 20 evolving technologies, right? And all those technologies were available as a learning platform for folks to learn, and people were actually learning those kind of technologies. And there are a few technologies which existed some 10 years back, which are not into existence right now, right? What happened to those people who started their journey in IT industry some 10, 15 years back? When they started working on something very different. What they're right now doing is very different. So what they did over a period of time was, when they started with those old technologies, they started learning new technologies over a period of time, right? They started growing up in the career while learning, right? That's how they've actually transformed themselves. This AI is also providing that opportunity for both working professionals as well as those who are starting their career in this AI market, right? It is not really kind of putting you in the corner and saying that, oh, this batch which is qualifying their, which are completing their graduation now or next 2 years or next 3 years, will not have a job. No, that's not 100% true, right? There are a few aspects which will have to be kind of be prepared, but it is not killing the job market. It is adding to the job market. It is just about how we upskill, how do we learn this new technology, how do we really make sure that we are using this AI technology to our best to find a job, which we'll discuss in next few minutes time. Now again, if you double double click on the India IT industry, right? The cities which are actually leading in terms of providing those IT, both IT to some extent non-IT jobs, is Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Pune, Mumbai, and Gurugram, right? They will continue to kind of attract this AI jobs in future as well. There is about 42% growth in AI jobs over past 2 years, which means that 2 years back, right, there were jobs wherein you had skills like SAP, you had skills like maybe Salesforce to some extent. You have also had skills of traditional those QA testing, right? I'm forgetting more skills, but those are the skill set which you used to hear 2 3 years back. But in last 2 years time, 40% and above of the jobs what you're seeing which are emerging on the job boards like LinkedIn, Naukri, Monster, it's more about AI, right? Either you find full AI jobs or you find the jobs, those little older jobs with AI content in it, which means that if you are still working on those good old systems, to what extent you have started learning AI part. So that AI part also has got added into the existing job descriptions. Right now, over there, like over 450, 450,000 active AI jobs listings in India. Right now, if you search using various search, keywords in the various search tools like those LinkedIn and etc. Already called out those cities where which will have a larger pie of those IT AI jobs. There'll be a lot of high demand for roles on Gen AI, right? Machine learning ops, NLP, AI ethics, and computer vision. So those are few emerging kind of technologies within AI. What it what this slide talks about is there's a lot of positivity about AI, which also means that India has started adopting AI to a larger extent, and you have seen a lot of skills are Indian companies, right? Which also means that there are companies um, which are from India, as well as those companies, global companies who have got their centers in India, have started uh, hiring for this particular AI skill set. Now, at the same time, while this is happening, when the industry is growing, right, especially you're seeing those 40% and above jobs on AI related, in next couple of years time, by 2027, India will face 1 million AI talent shortage. Okay, let's pause here. What this means is that the amount of new jobs which are being created on AI related space, it keeps adding year on year with 40% growth. Now by 2027, you will also see that there's a lot of jobs in the market, but at the same time you will find a lot of people, uh, meaning the talent gap. You will not find that kind of skill set in the Indian market, right? So how do we really bridge that gap? Here, the experts stress a large scale of upskilling initiatives across the system, starting from our colleges. Right, our colleges needs to start adopting this AI technology to add that as part of the curriculum. It need to start from there. Second, every job seeker who's looking out for a job and who's currently working somewhere needs to upskill, learning the new way of new AI technologies. And those freshers, looking out for jobs who are looking to start their careers, probably have to add more AI related courses in their profiles, which also means that apart from learning those core programming core skills, you also need to add that AI flavor into your profile, right? That's the only way you can actually bridge this gap. Right now, if you look at the India market and the job market, you also see that there are a lot of companies who are downsizing. You've seen a few big companies reducing their hiring numbers every year. Almost every alternate company go to campuses, those colleges, to kind of hire freshers, which means that as soon as you graduate, or you are in the final year, you will actually find that the companies are coming to those top good colleges and hire people from those colleges, right? So when they are hiring, they focus a lot about the basics, the basic fundamentals. Now those companies have started focusing on AI. One, when they're focusing on AI, they also realized that they don't have that subject matter expertise on AI, which means that tomorrow, if they need to kind of build a separate department which focuses mostly on AI, or kind of have the existing department start focusing on AI, they need to really have those experts who are currently working on AI. Now, whoever has learned the AI part, AI skills right now with certain experience are much in demand. So when a company is kind of adding a new project or adding a new skill set or adding a new department, they would actually not take a chance with freshers hiring. Okay, let me pause here and let me explain you this better. For example, if you start a small company, or for example, if you start a transport company, right? You got like 100 cars, right? And all cars are kind of have got drivers. Now you're actually sending those cards to market to kind of generate revenue. Right now those cards are kind of doing a great fantastic job. And then the moment you start seeing that there is a business need, there is an ask from customers to have a bigger vehicle. Probably you need a buses also to kind of hire. The moment you kind of buy some, say, 10, 15 buses, and if you want to send that in the market, right? You would actually get a bit hesitant to use the existing drivers who have been driving those cars to use for buses, right? What you would do is you'll actually hire a separate set of drivers who have been kind of driving those buses. Now, let me give you a better example. Now, what you did is so far, you had a driver who was driving your personal vehicle, and he was driving the geared vehicle, right? But the moment you bought a new automatic vehicle, right, you would actually look for a better driver who knows the system, right? So that way, I'm just giving an example for you to understand this better. So the moment you kind of see that there is a change happening in your system, you need someone experienced to manage that. Similarly, if Infosys has laid off some thousands and lakhs of workers, or TCS has laid off some thousands and lakhs of workers, they're trying to relook at their business model. They're trying to add this AI part into their routine business, and also add AI part to their revenue generating businesses, right? When they're doing that, what they need is they need an experienced talent into the AI sector who can come and start working on AI. Now, the freshers who are there in the market may not understand this AI sector better. So the moment you hire a fresher, you need to provide training to those freshers. Right? It takes a lot of time for a fresher to kind of understand the new technology and start working on it. So far, these companies, Infosys, TCS, have been building a lot of new talent into the market. Right? They already had, for example, they had people on QA, they had people on Java. The reason they have hired those people in thousands and lakhs into those traditional skill set was because they had an existing training division. They had an existing senior talent on those technologies to train the freshers, right? The moment they are making a change into a new technology, they don't have that kind of such subject matter expertise. They don't have those senior technical folks who can actually train this new freshers, right? That's one of the reason why they are actually hiring less, um, through our campuses, and hiring less on freshers. So one of the things which is worrying our freshers is that why are we not seeing so many job offers? Why companies are not looking forward to hire from campuses, especially when this AI transformation is happening, right? The answer is this one, that the companies are still trying to see how AI is impacting their overall business model, what kind of skills they need to build as a company, and who are those top talent and experienced talent who can help them build that particular skills. They can't experiment with freshers. Reason one. Second reason is, since there is a lot of change happening globally, right? They also want to look at what their customers are wanting from the AI angle, right? For example, if they are working for a manufacturing client to implement, say, SAP, if that manufacturing clients ask, say, Infosys, that I want you to kind of integrate AI aspect into whatever you implement, right? Now, when that need is coming out on the market, they need to really understand what else the companies, what are the other clients who would want in this kind of services. If they need to relook at their overall business model, that's another aspect which is happening right now in the industry. Third, there are companies who are still questioning or looking and waiting to see how this AI will impact overall market. This sector is primarily the BFSI sector, banking, financial, and insurance sector. Now, this sector is very cautious about whatever changes they bring into the market. Right? They don't just accept, the changes, as it is. What they do is they actually wait, watch, and see, how AI is impacting the overall market and make the changes accordingly. There are various similar skills reasons why uh, bigger companies are kind of hesitant in terms of hiring the freshers, which also means that this won't long last, meaning companies won't just say no to freshers hiring for a longer period. The moment they find a good amount of talent by hiring those experienced folks, and the moment they find that they are confident about the skills, they'll start hiring the freshers and start training on AI. Now, keeping this in mind, what are freshers and what are experienced job seekers who haven't explored AI needs to do is they need to start upskill, right? They need to start approaching various training institutes. They need to do some self learning. If you're working and if you're a job seeker, reach out to your internal L&D, learning and development department. Talk to your manager. Tell your manager that I'm interested to explore AI technologies, right? What are those AI technologies which I should learn, right? Now, I'm not a technical person, so I may not suggest you what is the right AI technology. That's something you'll have to explore and talk to the experts in the market. But one thing what I can say is, as an HR, as an human resource professional, whenever there is a new skills being built in the organization, various companies try to kind of provide those upskilling opportunities to their existing employees before even going out to the market to hire that particular skill set. They try to hire those trainers, they try to use those technologies and train their existing employees, right? But the moment they find that that skill does not exist, even to train our internal employees, they would go watch in the external market, hire those people, pay them whatever they want. That's the reason why if you look at Google, Microsoft, right, Meta, everyone is trying to, everyone is trying to find that top AI talent and paying lakhs of rupees. Right, they're actually paying a lot of money to get that particular talent. The moment they have the talent, it becomes a lot more easier for them to expand the talent across their company. Right, that 4 or 5 people who join, who has got experience on AI, would actually train the existing people. So once everyone gets trained on it, they start working on the tool. That company becomes, probably more profitable than their competitors because they've started adopting the new technology, right? So that's how the transformation is happening right now, and that's also the reason why companies are a bit hesitant to hire those freshers. But it won't kind of uh, that won't be a long-term strategy. At some point, they need to come back and hire freshers as well as part of their hiring strategy. So now what is important here is both for an experienced job seeker as well as a fresher, both the people, both this these categories needs to upskill. They need to upskill very fast. This industry would provide an opportunity for someone who started learning this new technology, right? They're not expecting you to be a proficient. They're not expecting you to be perfect in this AI. At least they would want to hear from you the kind of learning you're doing right now to upskill yourself, right? So it's the time for now for you to kind of go back and look at what are those AI skills which you need to kind of work on it and start working towards that learning journey. So let's move on further. There are a few more things we need to probably cover. Now these are like various roles you'll find right now in the market, right? All of these roles are designed to support the new AI model. Search on it, search on Google, use AI, ask a question to AI. What are the new AI roles which are kind of becoming very prominent, which you need to learn. Then you will find all of those roles what you see on this slides. Almost every technical role is getting converted into a role which is learning from that the AI systems. Now my last part of the presentation is how do we start kind of um, using these AI tools for the job search, right? Um, now there are various ways we will probably use AI tools. Let me pause here. If there are any questions in the previous content which I shared, you can just raise your question, raise your hand. I can unmute, and you can ask a question, or you can put a question on the chat window. I can try to answer that.
Please put the question on the chat actually.
Yeah,
At the end,
makes sense.
maybe we will give you the right to unmute. Right now, you cannot unmute yourself. Please put the question on the chat.
All right. I don't see any questions here on the chat window. We can still park quite good time, towards the end to, look at the question and answers. Let me move ahead with the next topic. Now, as a job seeker, so how do you actually start using the AI tools, to make, your job search process more effective and more easy, and reach out to multiple employers by using the smart methods, by using the smart tools which are available. Now, the content which I got here is pretty simple and pretty straightforward. Now, this content which I'm going to share is purely basis, how you, with an intention that, you're searching for a job, obviously. Um, Hold on, there is one question here. Will there be AI sales jobs? Maybe yes. For example, if there is a startup which has started exploring AI products, right? It is redefining the entire tools which are available, and it is using the AI aspect into those tools. And if they need, once they develop those tools, they would still need to sell that to their competitors, right? Then they would actually need someone, some sales professional who would understand the technology, who would also understand the AI aspect into it. So that way, even the sales market will also have will undergo a huge transformation. When those startups, when those product companies start building products related to AI, they would still want their salespeople to understand the AI aspect. So that's also one of the reasons why you will see a lot of technology companies hiring salespeople who understand the technology products. Now, for example, if I'm from a sales background and if I've been selling FMCG products and I'm in a key senior position, if I apply for a product company, a technology company who is selling AI products, or forget about AI. If there is a technology company who's selling some general products like say CRM tools, right? They would actually not accept my profile because my background is completely different. I've been selling FMCG product now with FMCG experience. I may not be a good person to do a sales job on the technology side, right? Since I'm engineering sales background, want to get into sales, want to get into AI sales. Yes, definitely. You can actually explore. I've seen a lot of sales people who also have got engineering background. Those people actually use their technical knowledge. The same time, they also use their sales experience. So somewhere you need to have a start, which means that once you start the sales journey, then that's when you need to probably look into getting specialized into those product selling. How can I skill up AI for SAP? Again, I'm not a technical person. I may not be able to answer these technical questions, but there should be some opportunity. What you need to do is you need to consult. For example, if you're working on SAP or if you're working on some say QA tools, right? Now, how do you upskill, keeping in mind that AI will have some disruption in your role? You need to consult those people who are actually working in the same field and who have actually started upskilling themselves on the AI aspect, right? The best thing what I would do is uh, search on AI tool, search on Copilot, or use Google Gemini. Ask this question, how can I skill, how can I upskill SAP using AI, right? That can, you will actually get a brilliant answer to it. But my recommendation is just consult someone in that particular field. They will assist you better. I'm not a technical person. What I'm doing is I'm just making a general presentation on how you can actually, how AI is impacting the overall job market and what are things you need to keep in mind when searching for a job. Any other questions? All right, let's move ahead. This is the last topic. Once we cover this, we'll spend some time on further questions. Now, how can you use this AI tools for a job search? Now, couple of things, right? First thing, what you need to keep in mind is you need to find new pathways to explore, which also means that, for example, if you see here, um, you need to first start understanding the AI tools. As I told you, you need to have the Chat GPT, you need to have Gemini, you need to have there is Perplexity. There are a couple of tools which are available right now. You can actually log into those tool, make a simple query. You can see the question here in bold, right? Just type in that tool saying that, can you act as a job search coach or career consultant and help me find new roles and careers to explore? This is purely a personalized question which you're asking an AI bot, right? Now, when this AI bot sees this question, it will ask you further questions to understand this better. It will ask you, what is your background? Then you can say my background is MBA sales, right? Then it may ask you, the tool will again ask you, what kind of experience do you possess? Just tell him that, I'm a fresher, right? And the tool may actually ask furthermore questions. The reason why the tool is asking you the follow-up questions is to really build that intelligence and give you the accurate information. So once it has all those details available, then it actually provides all those recommendations to you to search for a job, right? Now let me pause here. What I would want to do is immediately right now, if you don't have a tool on your mobile phone, just try to download Google Gemini. I think it's available for free, or there are other AI tools like ChatGPT. Just download it. If you already have the tool, just open that tool, ask this question: can you act as a job search coach or career consultant and help me find new roles and careers to explore? Simple question. Ask this to your ChatGPT. Can you quickly do that right away? And once you do it, just raise your hand. I want to see as many hands as possible on the call. Yeah, there is some HR question. I'll answer this towards the end. So people on the call, I'm sure all of you have your mobile on your hand. Just open your mobile, download Google Gemini if that is available to you. If it is already downloaded, if you're using any other chat GPT app, absolutely okay. Open that, just type this question: can you act as a job search coach or career consultant and help me find new roles and careers to explore? Once you ask this question, just raise your hand over Zoom. So I'm not seeing any hands. Raise your hand, or you can just give a thumbs up once you put this question. Okay, there is one thumbs up. Need more. There are 47 participants here. Okay, three more, two more. Need more thumbs up. So the question is, open your Chat GPT app and type this question. Once you type the question, just give me a thumbs up. All right, I'm seeing more thumbs up coming in. Guys, let's do it. Even if you've done it, just repeat this exercise so that we do this all together. Raise your hand or give a thumbs up once you put this query on the Chat GPT app. So this step is important for every one of us to proceed to the next one. It's a simple activity, and I want all of you to participate in it. If you're not following me, just raise a question. Let me know. Put a question on chat window. I'll be happy to answer you. Okay, Josh, thanks. Others, please. Waiting for others to do it. Okay, the question is simple, right? You can see on the slide, there is there's their font, there's a text in bold. You need to open the ChatGPT app on your mobile phone. You can either use Google Gemini or use any other tool, right? And then type this question. The question here on the screen is simple. Can you act as a job search coach or career consultant and help me find new roles and careers to explore? So type this question and click on send. Open ChatGPT, type this question and click on send and raise your hand or just say you're done. All right, more folks quickly. Look, you get last half a second. Open ChatGPT app, type this question, click on send. Done, done, done. Thank you. Thank you. Need more duns. It's a simple question. Just what you're doing is you're trying to just ask ChatGPT, the AI tool, to act as a job search and a career coach um, to find new roles and career options. Done. Need more duns. There are 40 plus participants on this call. Done. Thanks, Yakub. Need more duns. Thanks. Thanks, Riaz. Thanks, Ahmed. All right, folks. So those who have done, those who have put this question, click on send. And the moment you send this question on the AI tool, right? It could be any tool. All the AI systems are built in the similar way. What they will do is, what this AI does is they will actually ask you a follow-up question, right? What it will ask you is they will ask you about your background, right? They will ask you about your interest. Now the tool is trying to understand you better before giving you any suggestions, right? Now you need to provide more inputs to the tool. So what you do is you just provide some more details. If you're a fresher, just say you're a fresher and you've completed engineering or completed MBA or just finished some course, provide that information to the tool. Right? I'm sure the AI tool would have actually asked you a follow-up question. Just read the follow-up question. If the follow-up question is more about asking you about your interest, your qualification, provide your qualification. Basically, AI tool is getting trained about you. So before it provides you an answer, it is actually trying to understand your background better. All right. So once you answer to the follow-up question, just uh, click on the answer and then send that to the AI tool. All right. So once it asks you for a question, right, a follow-up question, it may actually the tool may stop there, right, or it may ask you a further follow-up question. Just try to answer those questions. Basically, what we're trying to do is we are just, we are asking uh, a tool to provide you some suggestions regarding your job search. Now, the tool is actually asking you to gather more insights and more information. Right now, you're providing more information to the tool. The following information can be related to your background, your education, and your interest. For example, if you're an experienced person, you're into sales. Just say you're into sales from last 12 years or 13 years, right? And you can also say that I'm into FMCG sales, or I'm part of X sales. If you're an IT industry, you can just say that I'm part of QA team, right? If you're working on SAP, say you're working on SAP. If you are providing this kind of inputs, then the tool will ask you further one or two more questions, and then it will start answering you. The answer what this tool provides you is it will actually collect the information across the internet, and looking at your responses to the questions which the tool has asked you, it will start giving you some insights. Right now, it may actually say that, oh, the right career path for you is to really build your career as an accountant. If you are saying that you're a finance person, right? If you're saying that you're an engineering graduate, you're a fresher, and if you're looking out for a job, then it will actually provide you a lot of information about the current job posting. Right? So what you're trying to do right now is you're trying to explore an AI tool to start, searching for a job. Right? You're also trying to ask questions to AI related to your career. Right? Someone who has gone through the similar kind of journey as you, right, basis your qualification. Those details which are, if are available on the internet, that will be kind of taken from the AI tool, and it will actually populate basis your interest and your qualification and your background. So one of the important aspect of AI tool is this AI tool needs a lot of information to provide you suggestions. So you need to have some kind of patience by providing all the answers to this AI tool, right? So once you're done with this activity, let's move to the next one. So this is one way of kind of looking at jobs available in the market. Instead of going and searching on Google and searching on various job portals, just opening a AI tool and providing some background about you and asking this question. The question can be as simple as, can you act as a job search coach? Right? It will ask you some questions, and once you provide the answers, it will provide you all those answers related to your field and related to your background. Now, the other aspect what we also need to probably do is search for the jobs of your interest. Right now, for example, if I'm part of HR team, right, what I would do is I'll just go on internet and search for HR business partner role, or I will search for talent acquisition role. So once I do that, what I need to do is I need to just download the job specifications, job profile, right? We call that as a job requirement list. So you need to search for top 2 to 3 roles and the job description for those roles. So once you download those job descriptions and roles into a Word document, right, save that on your desktop, open the chat GPT, add the document to that chat GPT, send it, and then ask a question to the chat GPT saying that these are the type of roles I want to pursue in my job search. Can you please analyze these job descriptions and create an easy to understand single inventory of the minimum qualifications and person needs to be successful candidate for this type of role? right? And also highlight any other information that would be necessary or helpful to know as a candidate for this type of role. So basically, you're asking ChatGPT by providing information about the roles which you want to try, right? And then asking ChatGPT to provide, some details around, what kind of, minimum qualification I need to possess to get this job, what kind of skills I need to upskill, right? What are the things I need to learn to be suitable for these kind of jobs, right? Now whatever jobs you search on internet, even if those are inactive, don't worry about it. We are not searching for those jobs. What you're trying to do is we are just trying to download the job description which is of your interest, right? Now once you download those job descriptions, you're uploading that. You're basically feeding the AI tool by providing the information about the jobs and asking AI to kind of provide you a list of skills which you need to learn to to become eligible for that particular role. This is another way of kind of searching for the desired job. For example, if I'm a fresher, right, if I'm planning to become an um, AI AI ML engineer, right? What I would typically do is I will just download AI ML job descriptions from internet. Once I download that, I will save it in a Word document, open my chat GPT, upload the document by attaching the document and send it to chat GPT and ask this question. I'm a fresher, right? And these are the jobs I'm looking at. Can you please help me with the list of skills I need to learn to become eligible for this job? Now, this tool, the AA tool, will start listing all those skills which you need to learn to become eligible for that particular job. Now, in a way, this AI tool is becoming a career coach, for you to navigate your through your job search. That's another, way of using this AI tool. Now, the last one is an important one: resume reviews. We often struggle to prepare our resumes. One of the important part of resumes, building resumes, is you can't just have one common resume built and apply it to multiple jobs. That's not the recommended way, right? Now for example, if I as an HR professional, if I want to apply for a talent acquisition role, right, I need to have a separate resume for talent acquisition. Now there are other HR roles within HR, right? For example, the HR business partner role which I'm playing right now, if I need to apply for HR business partner role, I need to tailor my resume basis the requirement. Similarly, if you are a fresher and if you're seeking for a role into say into SAP, if you learn that skill, then you need to prepare a resume which actually truly reflect that SAP skills in your resume when you're applying for that particular role. Similarly, if you're applying for, say, Salesforce role, and if you're still a fresher, and if you learn the codes, and if you got a certification, you need to tailor, you need to customize your resume. You need to mention in your resume saying that you have learned Salesforce, you possess a certification, and if you've done a small project on it as part of your curriculum, mention those details in the resume, which means that you're actually customizing your resume basis the job you're applying for. Now, how can you actually use this AI tool to make this process simple, right? So similar to the tip earlier, what you can do is you can actually upload your general resume, right? And you can also paste the job ad. For example, if I'm a fresher, I have done SAP certification and I'm looking for SAP role. Right? What I would do is I would upload my general resume, whatever resume I have prepared so far, attach that document to the Chat GPT app, and at the same time, I also download the SAP job description, download that into Word format, and attach the document as well. Attach both the documents, send it to ChatGPT AI tool, and ask a simple question to AI saying that this is the role which I want to apply for, the SAP role, and this is my resume. Can you please suggest what are the changes I need to make in my resume to make my profile look good for this job? Simple. Right now, AI tool will actually provide a lot of details which you can actually mention in your resume to make you to make the recruiter feel that you are the eligible candidate. Basically, AI tool is suggesting you to make customize your resume, right? Basis the job description. So the ideal process to apply for a job is you need to customize your resume for the role which you apply. Right? This is something you're asking AI tool to do it. Right? Now, this while doing this process, there's an important aspect you need to keep in mind. Sometimes, when AI tool provides you all the details, don't just copy and paste in your profile. You need to apply your human intelligence. You need to apply your mind to find the right content which AI is suggesting you. You can't simply copy paste. That's absolutely wrong way to do it. right? Most of the time right now, what our HRs are struggling with is there are a lot of AI generated resumes which are looking similar. That's the worst part. The moment the resumes look similar, the recruiter will simply reject it. Or forget about the recruiter, right? Even the AI tools which are built and used by recruiters will itself reject those profiles. So which means that you need to first, customize the resume basis the inputs you get from AI, and use your human intelligence, use your brain to make it more suitable for the job you're applying for. You need to read that resume, right? Wherever you feel that the skills which is mentioned in the resume is not what you learned, or what does not possess what you haven't learned, then probably you need to customize, remove that language, right? And if a AI tool is not truly reflecting your skills in the resume, you need to add that manually. So basically you're asking AI to gather the information, upload the information in your profile, and go through the resume once to be comfortable and to be confident, only then start using that resume to apply for that particular job, right? These are the three important things which I want to really call out in our discussion today. One is exploring new pathways by using AI as your job search agent, and also a career consultant, by simply asking questions and providing information to AI tools so that AI can suggest you better. That's one way of using AI tool. Second way of doing is just download those job descriptions which you want to apply, and then upload that those set of job descriptions on the AI tool and ask AI to search for the similar open roles available in the market. It will provide you all the list of openings available in the market, right? Third way of using AI is to build your resume, customize it basis the job description. You upload your resume, you also upload the job description, and ask AI to kind of find errors in the resume, and also ask AI to provide suggestions and things you need to include in your resume, right? Basis what AI suggests, copy the content into your profile and make your profile, customize your profile to an extent where it looks suitable for the role which you're applying for, and then start applying for it, right? These are the three things. There are many other ways you can use the AI, and there are many articles written on internet how you can use your AI for search. LinkedIn is one of the prominent tool which we often use for our job search. LinkedIn also have started utilizing AI to provide that functionality and feature to all the job seekers. You try to explore that as well, right? With that, my presentation is towards the end. There are three action items which you need to start working on it. I'm sure you have already started working on it. One, stop thinking that AI will replace your job if you're a job seeker, and if you have experience in any field. And if you're a fresher, don't think that AI is kind of disrupting the entire industry and there won't be any jobs which will exist. Absolutely wrong thinking, right? You need to start learning and upskilling yourself. Learning and upskilling exists in this industry every day and night. You can't run away with your learning and upskilling. This is purely a private industry. This is not a government job where you just come to the work and spend years together without kind of learning. Even government jobs are become very demanding now, right? A lot of government folks are also kind of upskilling. This is a private industry. Every company wants to be profitable. Every company wants to compete with other company. They won't compete as long as their employees won't become more productive. They want every employee working in that organization to outperform, right? The employees can outperform only when they are highly skilled, which means that employees needs to kind of keep upskilling every now and then, especially when there is a new technology. They need to learn the new technology as early as possible, right? The employees who are not learning, not upskilling, will be asked to leave, right? The companies like TCS and Infosys who are laying off, they are laying off those employees with a purpose. And one of the main reason why they are laying off those many people are because they are not upskilling, they are not performing. The moment an organization finds that there's an employee who's not upskilling, not learning, and not growing, and not making any efforts to do work at work, meaning they're not working as desired, they'll be asked to leave after repeated warnings. So which means that you as a professional, whichever job you're looking for, or whichever job you're doing, as long as you keep learning and upskilling, you there is no risk for you to lose the job. And this is really important, especially when you are also growing up in the career. The last part wanting to continue is believe in yourself. You need to have that confidence in you. This job market exists to kind of to every professional who's trying to build their career, right? It is not limited to only certain set of professionals or certain set of employees. I've seen people from civil background working in IT industry. I've seen people from MBA background working in IT industry. I've seen engineers working into sales, roles, right? I've seen pharma kind of background people starting companies into various industries, right? So that way your learning won't stop once you're out of the college, right? It actually starts from that moment, the moment you actually lands into this industry or land start looking for a job. So that way there are three important things. One, stop that thinking that AI is kind of disrupting and you'll be affected or you'll be impacted. No, that's wrong thinking. Second, you need to start upskilling. Search for the right institute, search for right mentor, search for the right AI tools which can guide you, which can also provide you the career counseling, right? Similarly, you continue to believe in yourself and keep that belief and keep trying, right? Sometimes it takes months, sometimes it takes a year also for you to find a job, right? But the moment you land into a job, then the journey becomes slightly smoother because you find a larger ecosystem which keeps you helping with the jobs and which will keep you helping kind of moving up in the career. So that way the first start is really important. Sometimes you also need to be open to learn new technologies. The way you are open for learning new technologies, you also need to be open to explore opportunities into multiple areas, multiple industries, and multiple cities. That's an important aspect. If Hyderabad has got some 1,000 jobs, and if Bangalore has got another 1,000 jobs, just club both, right? When you see 2,000 jobs available to you for your skill set, then the chances of you getting a job in both the cities is high. Whereas if you just limit your search only to one city, it becomes very tough, or it may take a lot of time for you to find a job. So that way, be open and be open to search in any job market. Once you go there, right? For example, if I get a job, if I'm a fresher, if I find a job in Bangalore, I should be open to relocate. I may actually go there, spend 1 or 2 years. Once I get the experience, I can easily come back. I can apply to any company in Hyderabad and continue my job here with any company which is there in Bangalore, in Hyderabad, and stay with my family. So that way, keep yourself open. The last and important aspect here of job search is job search itself is a full-time job, right? Which means that if you're in a job search market, you can't just spend like 1 or 2 hours in a day to search for a job, right? You need to start your day morning at 9 o'clock and end your day at 6 o'clock. And this during this entire time, either you learn new skill or keep searching job on job portals such as LinkedIn and other tools. Third, start connecting with people who are in this industry to kind of find new information about new companies and new roles, right? Fourth, you can also actually use this AI tools to maximum extent how you can use in terms of finding those right job searches, and whatever you learn, right, by joining an institute. At the same time, you also need to come back and sit at home and start practicing it. So that way it is 9 to 5 job, which means that you can't just make this as a part-time job. Whenever you get time, you search for a job. That's an absolutely wrong thing. Sometimes it becomes very difficult if you are working somewhere and if you're parallelly continuing a job, right? That can be a challenge, but while that takes time, but if you continuously and consistently keep the search on, at the same time also learn the new skill, there is high possibility that you will find a new job as well, right? So with that, I'll pause here. We can spend next 5 to 6 minutes if there are any questions. Shoiba, if you can just unmute people, they can let them ask questions, or if you have any question, you can also put it on the chat window. I'll be happy to answer them.
Yes, thank you very much, Shafiq bhai. I have given right to people to unmute themselves and they can directly ask question to you. They can even put the question on the chat window also.